it's not a true story. I was inspired by a true case in the beginning, at the beginning of writing the script. But it was what you have seen on the screen is not based on any true story. It would be very difficult to base it on any kind of story, because no one would like to share that. So no one who's that young would, writes a book about that. At least not in Sweden, or comes forward or wants to speak about it. So it was a completely kind of challenge to maybe put myself more in this main character's shoes and see how I could imagine it to be possible in my head. That the circumstances are like completely realistic, as if the way the system works. It's a very possible story. That's just what I wanted to add.
Voilà, mais le contexte est réaliste et c'est une histoire tout à fait possible.
Just, I understood most of what you were saying. I mean, like what was important for me is, or maybe what creates for you is confusing or not clear, is that the story has to come out of the characters, and we have the luxury of being able to watch them at certain moments in their life, but they exist outside the screen before the film starts and after, and they have no duty to clarify anything for you. They have to live their own life, yeah? So it was important for me in writing the script that we get to know things together when it's when the character needs to explain it to someone else, but never in an instrumental way. Because I personally,
to understand the film.
Because it takes some time before you find out. But it's also like I said, it's coming from the characters, and I think it's a way also of challenging the way of storytelling and to push the form of storytelling forward a bit, and not to get what we expect, to keep the audience awake. I watched that film, but I mean, there was some parts of that film I really liked, but it was never a kind of inspiration for this. I had done a couple of short films before on the same kind of subject, same theme. So it's something that's been interesting me for quite some time. I think now I'm over it. But Woodsman was not a direct inspiration.
Donc on a demandé si Woodsman de Kevin Bacon est un acteur mais qui a aussi réalisé au moins un film, celui-là, qui a sur un sujet proche, s'il avait vu le film et si ça l'avait inspiré. Alors il a répondu qu'il avait vu le film mais que ça ne l'avait pas inspiré, et qu'il était plus inspiré par La vie de Jésus de Bruno Dumont que par ce film de Kevin Bacon. The main actor is famous in Sweden.
Yes. He's a pop singer or a singing songwriter, and he got a kind of big career in Sweden when he was 15. He made a cover of Lady Gaga on YouTube, and after that he has recorded 3 albums, and he has been taking almost like second place or third place on national Eurovision competitions, and but I live in Poland. I didn't know who he was. I saw him on TV in Sweden after I had lost 2 main actors to the film who had resigned from the film, and then we saw him on TV and we didn't know who he was, but we felt like he has a very interesting face, so we went to meet him, and I gave him a quite hard time because I was skeptical to have a famous singer in Sweden, at least in the film, but he's very, very good actor, and he had really what was needed for the character, I discovered, so of course it was a good decision. It's interesting because when I met him, he was already trying to change his career, because most of his fan base was based off 13-year-old girls or 12-year-old girls, and he was growing up, and he wanted to become more serious, whatever that means. So he was, when I told him what the film was about, him and his manager and all these people around him were very like, the more murders the better, or the darker the better. We want to change his career, so it's great, whatever you want. So it was, I think, something that by accident was kind of coincidence, good coincidence for him and for me. I think it was like, it's like that every character has some kind of discovery, The girl discovers that she's really scared when she believed maybe I have nothing to be scared of, but she discovers something that scares her. And the boy we feel could kill him, the boy who is slapping him, doesn't have enough anger to kill him, but the boy who apparently doesn't has possibility to kick him in the face. And it's everybody has the switch side. So all of the characters have some kind of realization. It's important, and in this topic it will be a bit painful for everyone. But I think to me it's like that because of him, no one wants him to be there, because they know that eventually they have to learn something painful about themselves through his presence. So it's not so pleasant to know something you don't want to know about yourself, so it's easier to get rid of him. But they can't.
Donc, il répond que tous les personnages en fait se découvrent en face du personnage principal. Et je vais faire vite, donc le résumer vite. En fait, ils découvrent aussi leur côté négatif en face de ce personnage. Et donc, ils ne sont pas tellement envie non plus de se découvrir ainsi. La jeune fille, elle pensait ne pas pouvoir être effrayée par sa fréquentation du héros. Le jeune homme qui le frappe pensait pas peut-être être aussi violent. Voilà, il se découvre ainsi, et c'est aussi ça qui fait qu'ils n'ont pas envie, ils ont envie d'être débarrassés de lui.